If not serious now, how can your teenager expect to pay back school loans with a minimum wage job? My teenage triplet sons moved in with us just before their freshman year. Their stepmom and I had the talk. On paper, I showed our combined incomes and what we spent each month on bills for our mortgage, food, transportation, utilities, etc. I needed to give them an idea what we could afford and expect them to continue with a higher education after graduation. I wanted my boys to take high school seriously to learn so they would qualify and succeed on the next level. My words were clear. It was their responsibility to get educated. I had no intention of standing over them to evaluate their homework. They turned in their assignments on time or studied good notes for tests. Getting good grades was another barometer as well as any school disciplinary action. If they failed to study and failed to test, I would not allow them to blame their teacher or anyone else. I explained how quality of effort equals quality of reward and to give all the reward for their work to them to motivate them to develop a work ethic and sense of pride. We taught them how to do their own laundry, dishes, cook meals for themselves, and keep their rooms neat and orderly, even camping and how to build a fire. Then I warned them, you cannot live with us after you graduate from high school. I further added that I would not then live in a tent in the backyard with the squirrels and use our facilities. They could talk to their mom into living with her or get a job to afford an apartment with a roommate to share the expenses and get their own car and insurance. If they were going on to the local community college or four-year school, they could continue to live with us. That was 50 years ago when mortgage rates were lower, so we could refinance and borrow some of the equity in our home to help pay for the higher education for all three. Of course, not everyone owns a home. Our combined income was not likely to qualify for school loans either. So we had to find a way to give them hope that being educated would provide greater opportunities later. Note how I informed we would help with higher education. This sets the tone. We could do our job, but they had to do theirs. If they were not getting serious, demonstrating good study habits and willingness to work helping with family chores, then we didn't need to be serious either. Tough love. To my point, I said, when they turned 18, we did not owe them anything. By law, they were emancipated and could better qualify for school loans after their first year of school. This is a typical reality for most families, and why I explained in my 7-module course it is important to have the talk early in high school. This led to how we could help with structuring a financial picture for each triplet based on the choices they wanted to make and to consider alternatives to the traditional 4-year university. To increase their awareness, I began to discuss with each son their talents, abilities, and skills so they could project what kind of career path to take and prepare with the correct courses and activities. This led to creating the Personal Ability Survey I include in my 7-module course lessons. The problem this solves is that most high school seniors don't know what they are good at choosing the wrong or correct, let's put it this way, would hope to choose the correct higher education path. The trend is moving to spending the first 2 years at a community college to transfer all the same general education courses completed and live at home to save money, gain maturity, and choose an appropriate career based on satisfying personal needs, values, and abilities. The other trend is the trades because tariffs are motivating more companies to manufacture and build in America again. The trades will explode in a demand for construction, electricians, plumbers, heating and air conditioning, bricklayers, roofers, etc. In fact, the prediction for a new millionaires will be owners of trades companies. I spent 20 years out of teaching in medical sales and marketing before returning to get licensed as a school superintendent to increase my income to help pay for their education. So I know all the excuses why teenagers believe they cannot afford higher education. My course explains alternatives to get a higher education with little or no debt as advertised. The real benefit of the course is to create the correct mindset in teenagers to focus on their education and less on social media. Being liked by friends and needing to belong in high school is so temporary. I've never seen any guy or girl pack up their friends and take them off to school with them. As I said, I'm a retired school superintendent. My course will advise what the schools are not telling you. My 7-module leadership course is very affordable now for only $297 versus risking $20,000 to $30,000 for just the first year when teenagers don't know what they are good at or are mature enough and serious to know the investment cost to a family budget. Then there may be siblings to follow. In my case, we had to deal with 3 boys at the same time. Each module has 5 brief 5 to 7 minute lessons, so together parents and teenagers should view my presentation and take notes on the PDF lesson printout with highlights and diagrams to help reinforce the messaging. Then both parents and teenagers hear the same message on the same page. This course has a lifetime benefit value. It serves as a resource for other siblings to follow too. The messaging is founded on behavioral principles or patterns of teenagers and the kinds of distractions and influences they experience. The number one benefit is getting teenagers to think smartly and start planning for their future with a correct mindset. As this headline, if teenagers don't get serious now, most likely they will not flip a switch and get serious away from home. The idea is to create the need to learn early in high school to expect consequences. Tough love. This $297 course is a very small investment now to prepare teenagers for a future expectation, career, income, and quality of life compared to potentially risking $20,000 to $30,000 in a 4-year school in a dorm away from family and emotional support. It is important that they can display self-discipline and self-reliance to make good choices as teenagers to continue those kinds of behaviors as responsible young adults. Speaking as a 31-time Senior Olympic National Championship gold medalist, I am confident of the benefit mindset value immediately now and for the rest of their life. That I am offering a 100% 30-day money-back guarantee. Click on the link below in the description of this YouTube video and get started today. Each module only takes about 1/2 hour to view together. The course link is for the higher education mindset. See that below in the description of this YouTube video. I look forward to working with you.